the ball game, sung by Edward Meeker, Edison Record. Casey was baseball mad, had the fever and had it bad. Just to root for the hometown crew every Sue, Casey Blue. On a Saturday, her young beau called to see if she'd like to go to see.
It's a sponsor.
Kate said no. I'll tell you what you can do. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. So, you heard the music. This is kind of a segment that I started, a little mini-series called Inside Baseball. So, I did an episode earlier this year, like a month ago maybe. No, it couldn't have been that long, probably 2-3 weeks ago. Talking about YouTube's new policies. And I titled it whatever / Inside Baseball. And basically anytime you see an Inside Baseball episode, it's podcaster talk. And the reason I do it, for one, it's just to let you know the ins and out of podcasting and what we deal with and just the politics of it and the bullshit of it with censorship and all that. For one, it's kind of like, it reminds me of Union of the Unwanted, is what I was aiming for. I only have 2 podcasts. I feel like I could be kind of like Sam Tripoli and have a billion podcasts if I had the time. Because I'm a crazy person. But I was like, no, I'm just going to create segments and little mini-series. So, now, don't automatically click off just because you're not a podcaster or a content creator. Maybe you're looking to become one. Cool. Check out the series. I'm going to start a playlist, Inside Baseball. I wonder how many people are not going to click on it because they think it's actually baseball talk. But, it just don't automatically just not listen because you're not a content creator. If you're not, you might actually still get something out of it. Like the last episode, we kind of got into some Minority Report shit. So this is concerning to me. Let's talk about YouTube. As far as updates, dude, I did not go to bed till fucking 8 a.m. this morning. It fucking blows. I don't know what it is. Every Friday, because I have Saturday and Sundays off, every Friday I get excited that I'm off the next day, and my brain will not shut down. I feel like a little kid on Christmas Eve that can't go to sleep. I get excited about days off because I'm like, oh, I get to podcast and play video games and chill out. And I had a phone call scheduled with my brother, and I didn't go to bed till literally 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, and I slept until 2 this afternoon and went to Kroger, got some things. I got some 2.5s, Miller beer. I ain't gonna lie, people. You guys know me. I'm an alcoholic, and I've been struggling with alcohol. Lately, I've been struggling with alcohol. It hasn't been super bad. I've only really been drinking super heavy on the weekends. But even then, and it's not like I'm raging or acting crazy, but I'm noticing I'm blasting music and just knocking them back and playing bass guitar and singing and shit. Which isn't bad behavior, but I'm sure it's annoying. And yeah, I'm I need to fucking straighten up. So I got 2.5s, which are super light beer, barely any alcohol. It's the next step up from an O'Doul's, because I have an interview tomorrow, and I want to be in good condition and not all hungover and fucking shaky and because I had a billion beers the night before. I want to be in good condition, and I made sure, I asked the dude who I'm going to interview, he's really cool, tomorrow. I asked him, I was like, so what time do you want to do it on Sunday? And he's like, I'm like, what time do you get up? He's like, I get up 6 a.m. And I'm like, well, I can't do it that early, but I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm like, I purposely made it 10 a.m. I'm like, let's aim for 10. It's not too early, it's not too late. And, it makes me have to be a responsible adult the night before. I'm forcing myself to not be an alcoholic piece of shit booze bag. Self-control. But that's it. That's about it for an update. I got an interview tomorrow, so look forward to that. It won't obviously, I don't know, actually it might come out tomorrow because it's the weekend and I'm actually home and not working, so I might be able to put it out that day. So look forward to that. But today let's do some inside baseball, some creepy AI shit. You guys know that's kind of one of my main concerns and focuses and conspiracies that I'm really into because yeah, I'm very scared of robotics, AI, Terminators, all that shit. It's one of the things I'm very concerned about, and I talk about a lot on the channel, but this is some inside baseball shit, so let's go, baby. So a little disclaimer. I've noticed some weird shit. I'm not saying because I am a crazy person, so you guys already know that. I'm not saying that this happened to me, but I felt like sometimes I remember saying stuff because I don't watch or listen to like every single podcast. Some of them I go back and listen to just to see, just every now and then I'll just go and check out an old episode. Like, what did I say? Was it good? You know, just to kind of check on myself. And I've noticed that I've like thought that I've said certain things in certain episodes and I didn't, or I haven't had any visual alterings. I've had mostly auditory stuff where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I said this right there or made that joke. It's just weird shit like that. So YouTube has been secretly using AI to edit people's videos without telling them, without their consent. And a bunch of content creators have been like going back and watching old videos. And it started with comments. The comments in the comment section going, are you using AI? Is this AI? And they're like, what? No, I'm a real person. And they're going through comments like, what the fuck? And then they go back and watch the video and they're like, well, my hair doesn't look like that. Why do I look so weird? YouTube secretly used AI to edit people's videos. The results could bend reality. And this, I don't like this shit, man. This is like Orwellian. And it makes me wonder, not that I'm gonna, because I have like 1 billion fucking videos and podcasts and shit. I'm not gonna like go through all of them, obviously, but it makes me wonder if they've ever used it on me. And I don't like this. I don't like this at all. YouTube made AI enhancements to videos without telling users or asking permission. As AI quietly mediates our world, yeah, make it sound creepy. What happens to our shared connection with real life? Rick Beato, or Beto, it's spelled B-E, it doesn't matter. Let's just call him Rick Beato. Rick Beato's face just didn't look right. I was like, man, my hair looks strange. Yeah, this is the guy I was mentioning, he says. And the closer I looked at it, almost seemed like I was wearing makeup. Beto runs a YouTube channel with over 5 million subscribers. That's where they fucked up. If they really wanted to be sneaky, YouTube, they would have done it with smaller channels like mine. I've got like 664 or 50, 600, or no, I've got, I don't remember. I got like 450 something subs. I'm trying to get to 500. That's what I meant. Not 600. I don't know where I got 460 something subs. They should have done it with someone like me, where a lot of my audience wouldn't have noticed. And two, I don't get a lot of comments in my comment section, which bums me out. Comment more, people. I want to engage with you. So, The closer I looked, it almost seemed like I was wearing makeup. But yeah, them picking someone with 5 million subs, not very bright. Where he's made nearly 2,000 videos. Damn, son. I've been in the game a decade and I have not reached 2,000 vids. Exploring the world of music. Something seemed off in one of the recent posts, but he could barely tell the difference. I thought, am I just imagining things? And this is where it gets crazy, man, because I told you about the auditory shit. It makes you feel like you're schizophrenic. It turns out he wasn't. In recent months, YouTube has secretly used artificial intelligence to tweak people's videos without letting them know or asking permission. That's the part that pisses me off, man. Wrinkles in shirts seem more defined. Skin is sharper in some places and smoother in others. Pay close attention to ears, and you may notice them warp. These changes are small, barely visible, without a side-by-side comparison, yet some disturbed YouTubers say it gives their contents a subtle and unwelcome AI-generated feeling. There is something creepy about AI. Like, obviously, there's the whole fallen angel connection, and that gets into, like, golems and homunculi and voodoo doll type shit of, like, disembodied inhuman spirits, aka entities, aka jinn, that could possibly use these things as vessels. There's that creepy side of it, but there's also uncanny valley. So it is getting hard though to have that uncanny valley feeling. I've noticed there's some AI that I'm like, it's not perfect yet, but there's some, man. I kind of get fooled on some of this shit, man. Ain't gonna lie. I don't know if it's because I'm a boomer. I admit it, whatever. I'm a boomer. Or it's just, it's something, it's uncanny valley. I mean, but I'm falling for it more and more. I'm not gonna lie. It's a confession. And I think it is where I've never been a real tech savvy guy. Hell, the other day I was on the computer at work and I didn't know how to work the fucking printer and shit. And my boss is like, hey, seriously, you don't know how to use a computer? I'm like, not really, dude. He's like, I'm going to have to kidnap you and like teach you. I was like, okay, good luck. But the more I looked at it, the more upset I got, says Rhett Scholl, another popular music channel. Scholl, a friend of Beto's, started looking into his own post and spotted the same strange artifacts. He posted a video on the subject that's racked over 500,000 views. If I want this terrible over-sharpening, I would have done it myself. But the bigger thing is, it looks AI generated, which is gonna be negative for the content creator because now people are gonna look at this and go, oh, this is an AI channel. Fuck this shit. I'm not watching this. Thumbs down. You know? It's going to affect us because people are going to think we're not real. I don't want to support AI channels. I want real people. There's AI podcasts now. That's insane to me that there's AI fucking podcasts. And there's psychos out there that actually listen to this shit. So, but the bigger thing is it looks AI generated. I think that deeply misrepresents me. It does, and it's without your consent. And what I do and my voice on the internet. It could potentially erode the trust I have with my audience in a small way. It just bothers me. I agree. Same here, homie. And I don't know if I'm a victim to this shit. Scholl and Beto weren't the first to notice the problem. Complaints on social media date back to June, at least. Who knows if it was going on before then. With users posting close-ups of odd-looking body parts and questioning YouTube's intentions. Now, after months of rumors and comment sections, the company has finally confirmed it is altering a limited number of videos on YouTube Shorts, the app's short-form video feature, which I've started to do those more often. I don't actually plan those. It's just I find weird shit in life and I'll just film it, you know. We're running an experiment on select YouTube shorts that uses traditional machine learning technology to unblur, denoise, and improve clarity in videos during processing. Essentially Photoshop with video, in layman's terms, if you're a retard like me. Similar to what a modern smartphone does when you record a video, says Renee Ritchie. That's my mom's name. It's not spelt the same though. YouTube's head of editorial and creator liaison, in a post on X, quote, YouTube is always working on ways to provide the best video quality and experience possible, and will continue to take creator and viewer feedback into consideration as we iterate and improve on these features. YouTube did not respond to the BBC's questions about whether users will be given a choice about AI tweaking their videos. So, there was an awesome documentary years ago, I think it might have been like mid-2000s, about, it was called Terms of Service. Go check it out. I wonder, because I ain't gonna lie, dude, I don't have time to read all these terms of services, and I really need to start getting better at that and being patient and stop running and gunning as much and actually sit down and fucking read shit before I sign up. I wonder if it's in the terms of service, and it's funny that YouTube didn't respond to the BBC asking, like, hey, are the users, are they allowed to, do they have a choice in this? No comments. Nothing weird about that with our overlords. It's certainly true that modern smartphones come with built-in AI features that can enhance image and video quality. Yeah, dude, my phone, dude, is obviously a smartphone. And this is like a poor man one. This is like a Samsung. It's a cheap one. It's like $150. It's a nice phone. It works. It does the job. But they keep trying to get me to do fucking AI shit. And I'm like, I'm not fucking with this shit. You know, the only time I'd fuck with AI is if I want to make video content with it, you know? And I wouldn't do it with this phone. I would do it, like, purposely buy a phone and start fucking with AI just for video content, like interviewing it about fallen angels and all that shit. And who runs the world, because those are interesting interviews. I've been going around on YouTube watching those, and I'm like, interesting. It gets into some dark shit, too. So, it's certainly true that modern smartphones are built in with AI features that can enhance video quality, but that's an entirely different affair. According to Samuel Woolley, the diatric chair of disinformation studies at the University of Pittsburgh in the U.S., this guy is literally on the chair of disinfo. You can, quote, you can make decisions about what you want your phone to do and whether to turn on certain features. What we have here is a company manipulating content from leading users that is being distributed to a public, making sure I'm recording, audience without the consent of the people who produce the videos. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. I don't mind if you fuck me, but you gotta ask first. You can't just fucking yank my pants down and do it without my consent. You know. Woolley argues YouTube's choice of words feels like a misdirection. Okay, I might like this guy then. I think using the term machine learning is an attempt to obscure the fact that they used AI because of concerns surrounding the technology. Machine learning is in fact a subfield of artificial intelligence, he says. Ritchie shared additional details in a follow-up post, drawing a line between traditional machine learning and generative AI, where an algorithm creates entirely new content by learning patterns in vast data sets. Woolley, however, says this isn't a meaningful distinction here. Regardless, the move is indicative of how AI continues to add additional steps between us and the information and media we consume, often in ways you never notice at first glance. Yeah, and even before AI, the media we've been consuming it's altered. So like you can go back to like the fucking 90s and early 2000s of like, I remember there was awesome compilation videos of like how CNN would like fake stuff with CG, and it was usually mostly CNN, but I mean they're all owned by like the same, I think it's like 5 companies, it might even be less now, of like one family or 2 families own like all of mainstream media news. And they used Trump, I believe, in my opinion. They used Orange Man Bad to like discredit the whole, hey, the news is fake. You know, with fake news, which he is right, you know, it is fake news. But I mean, all the news we've been consuming since at least the early 2000s and the 90s has been like altered with CG. Not all, but like a lot of it with CG and stuff. But I mean, it goes back further because you got to go back into like Operation Mockingbird, which that was what, 50s and 60s or something like that. I'd have to look it up. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on it. And the Smith-Mundt Act, which Obama did, where he legalized propaganda against the American people. Psycho shit. But what this guy is saying, man, is AI is now being like a middleman. So like, without our consent, on YouTube at least. But it's just aggravating. I just want the truth and nothing but the truth. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You can't handle the truth, you know. Regardless, the move is indicative of how. So footsteps in the sand are a great analogy, says Jill Walker Retberg, a professor at the Center for Digital Narrative at the University of Bergen in Norway. You know someone made those footsteps with an analog camera. You know something was in front of the camera because the film was exposed to the light. But with algorithms and AI, what does this do to our relationship with reality? It's the CIA, dude. It reminds me of the CIA, and I can't remember. It was probably like Alan Dulles or something who said it, but and I think it was during like an interview. Someone was asking him like, you know, what's the objective of the CIA, and they just flat out said like, we will know that our mission is complete when no one knows what is real anymore. And to me, that's like dark as fuck. And it's getting to that point of like, it's insane how real shit looks, man. Go and listen to the Red Pill Paradigm episode I did with him, the Swapcast. And maybe I struggle with it because I'm an older guy, but I don't know. I almost want to interview like a really young puppy and be like, look at this shit. How can you tell? Like, can you tell? It's getting crazy. And they're gonna definitely fool the older generation, because I'm 33, so I'm like middle-aged. I'm not too young, but I'm not too old. I'm like smack dab in the fucking middle. And it's fooling me. And I was never really that big of a hip dude. I mean, back when I was younger, I was a punk. And I grew up in the 90s, so I'm at a weird age. I know for a fact, dude, it's got to be fooling older people. Like when I interviewed Red Pill Paradigm, I think he's like 40 years old. Because he has like 18-year-old kids. And I think he's like 40. So, and it fools him, and he has to like text his 18-year-old son, he was saying in the interview, and be like, is this real? And his kid's like, no, that's not real, Dad. I mean, I'm not making fun of them because I fall for this shit too, man. It's crazy. It's getting fucking weird. But the CIA, man, that was their main objective. He said was, we will know we completed our mission whenever no one knows what is real anymore. Well, they're getting pretty close. So, like, CIA, congratulations, you're accomplishing it. Nobody knows what the fuck is real anymore. I was watching today. Man. Literally, it was one of those, like, black content creators who react to conspiracy TikToks. He's got dreadlocks, if that helps. And he was, not saying they all look the same, sorry. He was saying, he was watching a video and somebody had run the last Donald Trump photo where he's on the golf course through AI, an AI detector, and it came up that the background was not AI, but it was not, the picture was not taken in 2025. It was taken in 2022 because they can detect that shit now. We did a whole episode on it. I can't remember the name of it. If I can find it, I'll put it in the link below, but just go back and look. But yeah, it's gotten to the point like that you can take a picture and AI can figure out where and when you took that picture. There's like a footprint. I don't know what it's called because I'm not tech savvy, but even this video will be like, oh, he filmed this video at such and such time at such and such location. You can find that shit out. It's creepy as fuck. Minority Report, dude. In March 2025, controversy erupted over an apparent AI remaster of 80s sitcoms The Cosby Show and A Different World streaming on Netflix. The shows are available in high definition despite the fact that they were originally shot on videotape. So AI is cleaning old footage. The Verge called the result a nightmarish mess of distorted faces, garbled text, and mishappen backgrounds. You know what's so creepy too is like when you see AI fucking up, it literally reminds me of like, not that I believe in heaven and hell. I think I did an episode called I Don't Want to Go to Heaven or something like that. It was an episode I responded to a dude. His name was like Christian Truth Seeker or something Lutter. And he's like, I want you to come to heaven with me. And I'm like, I don't want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to heaven or hell. I want to either be reincarnated, be a ghost, so I can be a pervert and like watch women undress, you know, be a creep in the corner, or I want to cease to exist. Those are my 3 forms of afterlife that I want. 333, make a wish. But when I see like when AI fucks up and they're distorting faces, and especially with crowds of people, it reminds me, it doesn't remind me, but it makes me think that's what hell would look like. Almost like a sea of people in their faces, because they're not bodies, they're souls. They're just like, you know, it's trippy. See, I hope you tuned in. I told you guys, even if you're not content creators, don't skip over these Inside Baseball episodes, because even as someone who's not in the game, you can still get some either entertainment or some knowledge. And I feel like this was informative. This was a brand new story that I heard literally like 2 days ago. Helps you know what's going on. And by the way, like, don't feel like the Inside Baseball series that I'm going to start, or well, that I did start, is like, hey, you're not invited. Like, I want you guys to know what's going on. And go check out Union of the Unwanted. I like it because I am a content creator, so I'm like literally like, yeah, listening to them, you know, talk Inside Baseball. But I could see someone, even if, like, my wife has listened to it and she's like digs it, you know. It's kind of like the Justice League for conspiracy. It's pretty dope. So I'm gonna put out as many episodes as I can today. There's some inside baseball for you. I love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like, it's up to you. I don't care. I'm not begging. I do have a buymeacoffee account set up in the description below. If you want to donate $1, that's cool. It helps me. It pays for pens, paper. Helps me pay for some hospital bills when I was locked up in the mental institution. All right. Love y'all. Bye.